Hi everyone, Natasha here, and around my home today I am in my dining room. We had a very rainy and stormy start to the day, so it's definitely feeling like spring. It was super warm when we got up and when I got my daughter off to school, and now it's dropped significantly and I'm thinking I might need to change into some warmer clothes. But before I do, and before I head off to work, it's time to do another card from our beautifully organized in 52 weeks card deck by Nikki Boyd. So stay tuned for that, and welcome to my dining room. Welcome back to my home. I hope you're enjoying this series where every week I'm pulling a new card from the card deck by Nikki Boyd called Beautifully Organized in 52 Weeks. So we are on to week 13, and that means we're working again in our dining rooms. I'll link the playlist down below so you can catch up if you want to do any of the other week's challenges so far, or just start from here and go forward and follow along with me each week. And I love hearing in the comments if you're joining in and how it's going for you, so be sure to share your progress down below. So for week 13, Nikki talks about working a little more in our dining rooms, cleaning off any extra clutter, and especially looking at some of the furniture pieces in your dining room that are storing your dishes and your servingware, and just seeing if there's anything that you want to declutter or could be reorganized in a better way, and working on cleaning those pieces of furniture and just making sure everything is in great shape and ready to serve your family and your guests. And the other thing we're doing is once we've done our decluttering and our cleaning and our organizing, we're going to add a little finishing touch, maybe add a vase of flowers or a potted plant or even just a nice pair of candlesticks to your dining room table and make your space even more beautifully organized. So for today, what I'm going to be working on is this little scene corner that I share on this channel. You probably haven't seen this little buffet too much before in my videos. And it used to be where I would set up our drink station when we would entertain, and we just haven't been entertaining as much since the pandemic. So I've decided it's time to put some of those things away. There's probably some things that can get decluttered, and I know I definitely need to dust off that little buffet as well. So I'm going to work on getting that straightened up, decluttered, and cleaned off, and we'll see what kind of shape I can get it in by the end. And of course, I have to head off to work soon. So whenever I do little projects like this around my home, I like to use my trusty timer to get me started and to keep me moving at a quick rate and get it done quickly and move on to the next thing. So I'm going to set my timer today I'm going to try for 15 minutes. It may take me more like 20 to finally do that last little bit of cleanup. But if I can get the main declutter, clean, and put away process done in 15 minutes, that would be ideal. So here's 15 minutes on the clock, and we'll go ahead and get started. Once I set up my timer in a secure spot so it won't roll away, I started collecting the items off of this little hutch or buffet. I'm not sure what the correct technical term is, but it's an antique piece that my husband picked up years ago, and it's seen better days, but I don't mind. I kind of like that it's got some scrapes and dings and a little bit of chipping and wear and tear, because then I don't have to worry about if we happen to damage it a little bit more. It just sort of blends in. Anyway, I started collecting all these items and bringing them into the kitchen. A lot of them have been sitting here for so long, I had sort of forgotten. I just kind of don't see this corner when I come into my kitchen. You know, we spend the majority of our time in the kitchen and the living room and the bedrooms, and this dining room I don't use every day. And so it was easy to forget all these things have been sitting there for so long. But I took them all into the kitchen except for the things that I wanted to keep in the dining room as a decorative element. And the stuff that I took into the kitchen, a lot of it needs to get run through the dishwasher. There are some things that I know I can just declutter, so I'm going to be passing those on to someone else. And other things will just be stored elsewhere. I have some extra coffee mugs that go with our dishes we got as a wedding set. And so those will just get put in a cabinet. There's just, extra things that I had left sitting out that I know don't need to be sitting out anymore. So it felt really good to just go through and completely clean off the top of this buffet and start with an empty canvas in a little bit when I start adding back some decorative elements.
Once I have the last of the decorative pieces removed, I grabbed my favorite Jordan Essentials Healthy Home Cleaning Spray just to give it a really good spray and dust and wipe down, and it felt so nice because I've neglected this piece far too long, so getting all those decorative elements cleaned and shining and looking their best was a nice fresh start to this piece and this project. And I do try to clean the antique mirror that's original to the piece, but as it goes with antique mirrors, there's a lot of discoloration and shadowing that you can't really clean off. So we just get it the best that we can and enjoy it as part of the history of this piece. And then I dust the top and the front pretty well, but I noticed as I was editing that I need to go back in and dust the sides a little bit. So I'll do that later today. But overall, giving this piece a little extra shine really helped me feel like I was resetting the dining room completely and getting it into that final beautifully organized state.
Okay, that was my timer. So I've cleaned off the buffet, and it's an antique that is in mediocre shape, which is fine by me. So now I'm going to put back the items I know I want to keep, including this box of tea, because it's nice to have a little tea assortment here. And I'll go through and do the best I can putting things away, but it feels really good just to have that buffet looking much cleaner, to kind of reset and think about what I want to have out and what I can put away inside a cabinet and have when I need it. And you may be wondering what these are. This was a set of hand-blown glass champagne flutes. And this was part of the set that we had made for our wedding party at our wedding. And this is a local to us glass blower. And they had little shot glass versions for their normal everyday items that they sold. So the thing is, you had to drink the whole shot before you could put the glass back down. And we just thought they were cute and fun. So we had them made in our wedding colors of that dark burgundy color and made them into champagne flutes so that we had these for our toasting at our wedding reception. It's nothing fancy, but it is clean and looks much better to me just to have the buffet sort of at a clean slate state. So I may mess around with adding a little more decorative items, especially as we get our spring decor out this week, since we have Easter this weekend. But for now, I'm gonna leave it at that. I'll have a few things to put away when I get back from work after they get a run through the dishwasher. And I feel much better having the rest of my dining room back in good shape. So now I can say this room is definitely more beautifully organized than it was before. So I hope that gave you some inspiration and some motivation to keep working on making your spaces in your home a little better each week. Again, leave me a comment down below with your progress and how it's going. I love hearing how everyone is working on different spaces in their homes and making some progress. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button. I'll be back on Sunday with a planning video and on Tuesday with my Tiny Tidy Tuesday video where I'm working on decluttering my basement one box at a time. Thanks again for joining me. Have a good one, and I'll see you next time. Bye.